thetrustisyou.com. The reason I am doing this is because so many people do not know what capital gains are. This is exactly wording from what the IRS says. So this is tax tip 2003-29 from the IRS, and I'm going to quote this directly, so excuse me while I read this. Almost everything you own and use for personal purposes, pleasure, or investment is a capital asset. That's a hell of a very broad definition. For those of you who are not aware of this, currently in the United States, any investment that you make a profit on, you're going to minus out depreciation. If you're in real estate, you're going to minus out costs. You're going to minus out everything else. Any profit is going to be charged at 23.8%. There is passed legislation to raise that for people who are taxes of more than $400,000 to 40%. That hasn't been passed. The legislation has been passed. It has not been enacted yet. That's a lot of money. I am a real estate investor. I also invest in crypto, and I have a little bit in options, and I'm trying to save as much money as possible. So that's why I do this TikTok live, so people can understand. Now, the trust I talk about is a very special trust. There are 5 words to it. The first word, it's irrevocable. It goes from generation to generation. Think of the famous quote by Nelson Rockefeller, "Own nothing, control everything." For those of you who are not aware, the Rockefellers have what is called, their trust is called the office. It's been around for 7 generations. It has over almost 400 people in it. And there is a book. It used to be called, the book was What the Rockefellers Do. Unfortunately, Garrett Gunderson, who wrote it, changed the name to What Billionaires Do. If anyone would like a copy on it, just reach out to me. He's one of the teachers in my real estate group. I do have a copy of it, PDF copy I can send to y'all. But if the Rockefellers are doing this, why shouldn't we be doing this? So again, irrevocable, generation to generation. 95% of the trusts out there, what law firms offer, what financial advisors offer, are what's called revocable trusts. My mom and dad had one. Susie Orman, who talks on UPS, talks about this. Revocable trusts are only as good as long as the person who made it is alive. Both my parents have passed away. I'm going to close down their trust when I do the 2022 taxes, and all the money has to be distributed. Revocable trust only saves you from going through probate. It does not save you from taxes. It does not save you from keeping your identity private. So again, the 5 words, starting over again: irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor, spendthrift trust. Now, there's 2 different trusts. There is a business trust for 1099 income, and then there is the beneficial trust for royalties and investments. I have both trusts. My brother has a brewery. My sister-in-law has her own landscaping design company. I'm also involved with some MLM and affiliate marketing. I found out the definition on that. So I found out the difference on it. So I am making money in different ways. Anything that is not an investment goes through the business trust, 1099 income. Anything that's an investment goes through the beneficial trust. If you're still making a W-2 income, unfortunately that cannot go through the trust. I have 3 clients, kind of interesting. All 3 of them are teachers. My nephew's a teacher, so way to go. But my 3 clients are also real estate investors. They have the trust. One of my clients has a trust, and he is wholesaling. His job in Arizona is he wholesales about 7 houses a year. That starts adding up quite quickly. Just to give you an idea, let's just say he makes $20,000. Just to give you an idea, $20,000 to a house times 7. So we're doing math together. It's $140,000. Yay, Scott. So $140,000 times 0.238. He's going to pay $33,320 in capital gains if he did not have the trust. This is what he's done so far for 2022. We're in November. He's done 7 houses. He says on the average $20,000. I don't know if he does more or less than that. But saving $33,320, that's a lot of money. Just to let you know, he's had the trust. He did it for 2021, and he's doing it for 2022. So it keeps adding more and more. You pay for the trust just once. So going back to these 5 special words, irrevocable goes from generation to generation. Complex, it can hold money from day to day, month to month, year to year, decade to decade. Does not have to disperse all the money like my dad's revocable trust. Complex, the trustees get to make the decisions. That usually doesn't come into things, but I have clients They have very robust rent rolls. The rent rolls are going through the trust too, saving the taxes on the rent rolls. That's very important for any of you who have short-term, long-term rentals or apartment buildings. Their daughter, who's involved in drugs and alcohol, sued her mom and dad to say, hey, you can't make me do 4 random drug tests. As soon as the judge in Los Angeles County saw this, he threw the case out, saying they can do whatever they want. Non-grantor, this makes it completely private. You are going to have someone who is not a beneficiary and someone you will not invest with because you don't want that person to know your business. I used a family friend. His name was Roy. We started both the beneficial and the business trust. He had to sign his name and his social security number. You need their social security number. Had to sign his name and social security number 17 times. I took him to lunch. I took my roommate at the time to lunch too. So I bought lunch for the both of them while we were signing all the paperwork. I just know it was 17 times because Roy had arthritis in his hands and he had not signed his signature that many times. That's all he had to do. He signed himself away, made it completely private. And then Spendthrift. This has gone in front of the Supreme Court twice to say, yes, a Spendthrift Trust is a legal entity and can enter into any investment deal it wants to do. So again, if you are in an LLC, an S Corp, or a C Corp, that's statutory law. That means the state can change information anytime. If you are in the trust, it is federal law and it's a contract. You're going to file a 1041 tax return. That's all you're going to file, and you don't have to worry about state taxes. Woohoo! Think of it living in high tax areas like New York, Illinois, or California. I'm in North Carolina. I get to avoid taxes, the state taxes. Not just on my real estate. Woo! I have to say that. I'm still paying gas tax. I'm still paying food tax. There's a reason. I'm just outside of Charlotte. There's a reason I go to South Carolina to go food shopping. The taxes for food in South Carolina are much, much cheaper than in North Carolina. I've always shopped on our military bases because I'm a military brat. So again, now this is going to help any investor. I don't care if you're a real estate investor. I am a real estate investor. I have wholesale houses. I do fix and flips. I don't do short-term, long-term rentals right now. I'm trying to become an accredited investor. I know there's people out there going, you can do a 1031. You can do a 1031 exchange. Yes, you can do a 1031 exchange, but you have very specific timelines. You have 45 days to find a house. You have to find a third party to hold the money and 160 days to close the house. And it has to be like property for like property. Why not use a Spendthrift Trust and save money easily? I have a client. I have a client right now, a husband and wife. They just saved $600,000. They made $600,000 in their home times 0.238. So they saved $142,800 on the home that they just sold. They're in their 70s. She made a comment. She's a real estate investor and things like this. And she's like, I'm sick of doing fix and flips. I'm sick of having to do rent rolls. She's now involved in a REIT, real estate investment group. And she puts her money in through the trust. Anything she gets from that, she goes out of the trust. It's an amazing thing to work with. Again, it's not a necessity. It's a want. So the 5 words. You're going to do away with the timelines at 1031 exchange. I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. When you go to thetrustisYou.com, there is a PDF that has all my information in there. I am sharing the slides of what I did in 2021. I saved let me move this because I don't remember. I saved over $14,262 in capital gains in 2021. And up until July 31st of 2022, I have saved over $32,000 in capital gains. I'm doing quite a bit of wholesaling right now here in Charlotte area. Crazy thing they have in Charlotte, in North Carolina, not just Charlotte. There's 101 counties in North Carolina. Depending on what county you're in, it's either 10 business days or 10 calendar days. You've got to know that. But if a property goes up for auction, you can go in and pay $750 more than the auction price, and then you've won the house, and it goes for another 10 days. I have won 4 of those so far this year. Hey, I'm making some money. So, sorry, I just had a text come through. So, you can save that. I am involved in crypto. I have a bottom feeder bot. I've only done it for a few weeks now. I've made quite a bit of money with that. It's all in the trust. I don't have to pay capital gains on that. I'm also involved with Novatech. I put $500 in. I get compounded interest rate every single Friday. They say the calculator and everything else, if I keep it there for 5 years, when I put it in at 56, when I'm 61, I'll have over $1 million. So let's just do this real quick. I'm going to do the math on that real quick. So my Novatech, $500 in. Clear this out. Let's say $1 million. Woohoo! Sally's going to be a millionaire. I need another calculator. Give me 1 second. So $25 a month times 12 equals times 5. So $1,500 for, you have to pay $25 a month with Novatech if you don't have $250,000. So I'm taking the highest numbers, $1,500 for that. So $1 million minus $1,500 minus $500 leaves me $998,000 that I'm supposedly going to make at Novatech. I hope I do. If I don't, oh well. So I'm going to times that by 2.38. So with my Novatech, if my Novatech in 5 years goes as high as it says they will, I'm going to save over $237,000 on my $500 investment. Way to go, Sally. Congratulations. Again, you don't need to have the trust, but why do you want to pay that much money to the federal government when you can use your money to do what you want? Now, when you do buy the trust, I just want to let you all know that with the trust, you are going to get a team working with you. You're going to have someone set up the EIN number and work with your non-grantor to make sure they fill out the paperwork correctly. Then you're going to have a team transitioning your car, transitioning your properties, transitioning your crypto, transitioning your options, everything else. Now, I do have both the business trust and the beneficial trust. If you just have the beneficial trust, if you're just an investor, here's what will happen. The 3 things that are not covered in the trust are food, fun, and fashion for adults. Anybody up to 18, everything's covered for. So when I put my Nissan Versa, nothing fancy car, when I put my Nissan Versa into the trust, the Blue Book value on my car was $12,000. If I need to get that money out of the trust, let's say I didn't have other money coming through, I need to pay for my food, fun, and fashion, and I didn't have my business trust to do this, I would be able to do what's called a demand letter. It's all in your booklet and how you write it, and I could pay for things that way. One of my clients just is doing the brewer strategy. He has 85 houses. He's putting each house into the trust. Very simple pattern. He's got to do a little bit of work on this. He's doing a bill of sale from his LLC. So 123 Main Street on November 20th. I'm selling to myself for $1. Second bill of sale, November 20th, 123 Main Street. I'm selling for myself to the trust for $1. He's going to get both of those notarized and then go to, depending on your state, go to a title company or go to an attorney and get those switched over. So even though the house is worth $300,000, the contract to switch them was just $1. Easy peasy, just a little bit of work. Have to get it notarized, but it's done very easily. Again, he's got to do this 85 times. I wish I had that problem. I'm doing 1 or 2 properties. I'm trying to do a property every 2 months. That's my goal for 2022. I am almost there. We'll see how that goes. One of my clients, another gentleman on TikTok, he reached out to me. He came to my Monday night, 8 p.m. East Coast time. I do a Q&A. He said, I'm selling a building. He goes, give me the contract. I just knew his TikTok handle. I did not know his real name. I got a call from the law firm. The law firm says, do you know this Michael character? And I said, yes. He sold 2 warehouses on Long Beach Port. He was making $6 million in profit. So let's figure this out. $6 million, woohoo, times 0.238. He saved $1,428,000 with the trust. So, small potatoes, big potatoes, whatever you want to do, you can save money with this. And it goes from generation to generation. Unfortunately, we're in November. People are going to start looking at their taxes. Please go back and look at your 2021 taxes. Make sure to look at how much you paid in capital gains and in interest income on your investments. I used to be in notes up until COVID, and I got burned because my people stopped paying me, and I wholesaled those houses. That's how I made my money in 2021. But anything you're making interest income would also be taken care of by the Spendthrift Trust. Royalties. Let me talk about that real quick. I have 2 clients. They have the trust together. They have 4 songs between them. They're not a couple. They have 4 songs between them. She has 9 other songs. He only has 3 other songs. She's much more prolific than he is. Do you know how much she can make on country western songs? It's a hell of a lot of money. So the royalties they're making goes through this Spendthrift Trust, and no capital gains on that either. If you're an author, if one of my clients has he had inherited his granddad's property that has 6 oil wells on it. All of that goes through the Spendthrift Trust. Now, the business trust, that is for any 1099 people. So I sell online education with easliy. Not trying to crow, but I made over $2,000 in October. That went through the business trust. That does not go through the beneficial trust. If you're a real estate investor, that goes through the business trust. Now, both trusts, depending on which one you want, either the business trust or the beneficial trust, the trust is $20,500. If you decide to get both trusts together, it'd be $37,000. Again, let's say you start with the Spendthrift Trust now, and then 2 months later, 2 years later, 20 years later, you get the business trust. That would still be the same prices. I'm not trying to make a killing on this. I work through a law firm called Rosen & Rosen in Houston, Texas. I'm making some money on this, but I want the average Joe real estate investor. In my real estate group, the average person joining the real estate group is 56 years old. I have a friend who door knocked and found a house and made $50,000 on it. So just give you an idea, I'm taking $50,000 times 0.238. His capital gains on that home was $11,900. He did this in March of 2021. Actually, to true story, he went on Super Bowl Sunday, knocked on the door, found the daughter of the owner. The owner had passed away because of complications from COVID. She was driving a 1997 Honda Accord. She was waiting for sunset to drive back to California. A lot of people do that when their air conditioning doesn't work well. She got some money. She got her dad's 2020 car, put into her name, everything else. My friend made $50,000. He sat in on my class. I used to do Thursday night mastermind in my class. I don't do that anymore because I had a falling out with the gentleman. He didn't pay me correctly. Yes, I could sue him. So he knew about the $11,900. Unfortunately, what happened is he didn't have the money. He is now driving Uber 6 nights a week because he has a $900 IRS bill to pay for his capital gains on that one house he wholesaled. $900 a month, and to pour salt into his wounds, his wife fell and broke her hip, and he has to wait until one of his grown children can come sit with her while he's out driving Uber. So again, this is not for the faint of heart. You know, one wholesale house making $50,000. Another friend of mine, she didn't have the money to pay for the trust. So she got the trust before she wholesaled the house. She paid the trust when she got paid on the fix and flip. She didn't wholesale, it was a fix and flip. She made $55,000. She made $55,000 deal on this. When this is after all her expenses, everything else. She is going to save $13,090 on her 2022 taxes, and she's doing her second fix and flip right now in California. Congratulations, Deborah. I have another person in Victorville, California. He's got a team fixing and flipping and expenses and everything else. When we discussed this, he said he's planning on making about $55,000 per house. He's done 3 of the houses so far, made $55,000. The market's kind of turned, so we're hoping he's going to get his other 2 done. So 4 times 6, $330,000 times 0.238. On his 2022 taxes, he's going to save $78,000. That's a lot of money, people. Congratulations. So please check out thetrustisyou.com. This is not a necessity. This is not a need. This is to help people save money on any investments that they're working with. If I have found out about it, and if I could save so much money, hopefully you can save a lot of money too. So again, my name is Sally Gimmon. On TikTok, my handle is Spendthrift Trust. Save as much money as you can. This is something the rich know about. Why does Donald Trump have a trust? Why do the Rockefellers have a trust? Why shouldn't you have a trust? Learn what the rich know. Do what the rich know. Save as much as you can in taxes. When you do look at the tax code, on the first page of the tax code, it says, it is up to a U.S. citizen to avoid as much as they can in taxes. Some people say this is illegal. I have a CPA who's sent me 3 clients who keeps telling me, you're doing something illegal. I'm like, no, I'm not. Just so you know, if your CPA or your CPA asks you this, it is written in tax code 643B as in Bravo. 643B. This is a tax code that Spendthrift Trust is written under. This trust comes from England, back when King Henry VIII started the Church of England. He was going to start taxing all the rich people in England, and the lords and ladies said, you can't do this. So this is off of English law. I do have a CPA who reached out to me who is in Louisiana. They are on different laws than the rest of the United States. And I said, if you have no LLCs or C Corps or S Corps, put all your investments into the Spendthrift Trust. You're still filing federal taxes. You'll file a 1041 tax return. And he's got quite a few clients he's sending my way. Yay, Sally, more clients. So again, this is legal. Most CPAs and tax people do not function out of the 300 level. This is very specialized up in 643B. So check this out. I do a live 8 p.m. on Zoom, 8 p.m. East Coast time, Q&A. Please come to that. I'm going to go over those slides. Find out about more information on TikTok. You can go and download my slides at thetrustisyou.com. I am not trying to jam y'all up. I'm trying to help you save money. You could be a real estate investor. You could be a crypto investor. You could be a crypto miner. You could be a stock options trader. You could be an options trader. You could be a Forex trader. You could be a futures trader. All of this, you can save money. Everything you're doing right now in your LLC, how you save money, you can do the exact same thing in the Spendthrift Trust and then make an extra 23.8% ROI on all investments because that's how much capital gains are. I hope this has been helpful. I don't want to go too long, talk for too long, but find out more about this. Make an appointment with me. I know my calendar is a little bit weird. We got the holidays this week. Next week I'm in London because I'm going to talk to people about the Spendthrift Trust over there. Thank you for listening to me on this. Again, my name is Sally Gimmon, and the website is thetrustisyou.com. Have a beautiful day, y'all. Take care.